everyone. Welcome to the Daddy Issues podcast. I'm Kay, and I'm here with S and G.
Hi. Our goal each week is to unpack various aspects of our lives. We're three sisters with three very different perspectives. We hope that through our conversations, trauma dumps, and DIY therapy, our listeners are able to apply some of the things that we learn in their own lives.
Absolutely. And we are completely amateur humans, definitely far from perfect, so please take what we say lightly. We are definitely not claiming to be professionals in any way. We just want to create a fun and safe space for us to grow.
And I'm very excited to introduce our first topic, parenting.
Yay, I'm so excited.
But before we get into the topic this week, I have to share something that happened.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
Okay, so as a new mom, which you all will learn much more about, I immediately signed up to join all of these different Facebook groups for moms. And some of them are more unhinged than others. But one day I'm scrolling. I've never asked a question on any of these, but I've learned a ton and gotten a lot out of them. I'm a lurker, basically. But I was scrolling one day and I saw somebody ask a question and I wanted to pose it in the group. So basically they were asking, it's common knowledge that for women, we're told to wipe from front to back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So how do you interpret that? Because I know how I interpret it. And to me, there's only one way to interpret that.
Yeah.
But in this comment section,
Oh, okay.
there's much debate.
Well,
What would be the
I don't see how there could be any sort of debate.
So basically, the confusion lies...
Wait, should we first all answer what we think?
Yeah, I kind of want to hear what you guys say without me, saying...
I mean, front to back is from, vagina to butthole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, you start there and then you wipe backwards because you don't want to get any fecal matter in your vagina.
Correct.
Exactly.
That's
Okay.
how I also take it.
Uh-huh.
And methodologies were also, discussed. So, I tend to go from behind, go all the way from the front to the back.
Yeah.
That, to me, is what makes sense.
Uh-huh.
So the confusion is some people are asking, do you break it up into sections? The front, you wipe the front, you finish with the front, then you move to the back.
No. That's a lot of work. So you take one piece of toilet paper, you wipe the front, put that in the toilet.
And that could be
take
in
another,
either direction because it's just the front.
Yeah.
You're just dealing with the front.
and then you take another one and you wipe the back.
Yeah.
No, because it doesn't matter if you get pee near your butthole. So you can just do it in one swoop.
That's what I think. And
Yeah.
but then people were like, oh, well, I can't reach from behind all the way forward and go from the back. But that's how I do.
Yeah.
They can't?
I know. That's what I'm like.
There's two ways to do it. You can you're straddling on the toilet and you just
go straight down.
between your legs to the back. No.
No.
Yeah, no. There's not
No.
two ways to
That
do
would
it.
be pushing
That would be-
back.
Yeah, that's
you know?
the wrong way to do it. Because you would be going back to front.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of go behind yourself.
I kind of lift up
Tilt
onto
a little
one
bit on
cheek.
the toilet.
Yes.
And then you go
Scoop
front
and
to back.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
no.
so we're in agreement. I was just curious because I was flabbergasted by the discourse.
What were people... two separate wipes. Was there anything else that people were saying?
People were just complaining that they can't get access to the front from the back, so they can't get the fluid motion situation going. So they kind of just dust up in the front and then do the back as a separate entity.
Those people need to work on some range of motion exercises.
Yeah. You know what's strange is the bathroom is a very private moment that everyone has, but we all experience it so differently.
Yes, that's what I feel like when I read it. I realized okay, I did not think that there was another way to interpret this, but clearly there is. Other people experience their bathroom experience different than I do.
Go ahead.
I wonder if when they ever have to change a diaper for a baby, do they use two separate wipes or are they just one motion?
And see, I think it's easier to comprehend if you're wiping a baby versus yourself. Because you are having to kind of contort, etc.
Yeah.
So
Did Mom explicitly tell us that when we were kids?
I literally did not find out that I had to wipe from front to back until after my first bacterial infection. My first UTI.
I don't ever really remember being told. I don't know if people are really even told that.
No.
I don't think it was even Mom that told me.
Yeah.
Mom never gave me any sort of talk. Literally ever.
Just don't do
female
don't do
anatomy.
sex, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
no-
Well, she didn't even say that.
Yeah.
We just didn't talk
Just
about
nothing.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, it is. I mean, I understand, especially for like new dads and things like that. With a daughter, you like probably have no idea that that's even a thing. So it's probably a whole new world to a lot of people, specifically dads. But then also, I feel like a lot of women don't know.
Yeah, as women, we didn't even know. Our mom was a nurse, so like if we didn't even know,
Yeah.
until we were.
I wish I could remember like when I realized or learned that was how it needed to be done.
Yeah.
Probably like in PA school.
I think I learned it when I started like babysitting for like actual babies.
Yeah,
You know?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's crazy.
that's hilarious.
Anyways, I just had to share it because I was just like, I was laughing so hard because, of course, like the comment section was a debate, but it was also just funny.
Yeah.
Like, people were being so funny.
And this was just a group for moms.
Yeah, it's like we ask all sorts of questions in there. I'm literally in a group that's called like Unhinged Moms or something like that, and that one really pops off.
I feel like it's just like a great place of comfort as a new parent, just to be able to, you get isolated, I feel like, so being able to see that other people are experiencing things that are like
I feel like
similar.
you could also get so much judgment there. I feel like people like to judge new
Oh,
moms
absolutely.
a lot. So I feel
Yeah.
like it could be either one.
Oh,
any
for sure.
given
That's why
day.
I have not ever posted.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's a danger to that too. But I'd be bringing my popcorn to the comment section.
Yeah,
Trolling in the background.
That's so funny. Well, I mean, I feel like we're already talking about parenting and kind of like you as a new mom. So as we're talking about our topic of parenting this week, I'd love to kind of start off with you talking about like your perspective on parenting, being a new mom and things like that.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple of things. I thought for myself as a new mom, especially right after you give birth, you have things like postpartum depression, and one that I had never even heard of was postpartum anxiety, and that took me by surprise. And I definitely still have it. Like, I will cook up all sorts of crazy ideas of things that can go wrong.
And just for reference, your son is 2 now.
Yes, sorry, 2
Yeah.
years now. So still 2 years in, I'm still feeling those effects. But I, especially when I first felt the postpartum anxiety, I thought I was going to be such a helicopter parent. I just thought that that's how I was going to be. And I don't necessarily feel like that's the case. My husband might disagree with me.
I don't disagree with you. I don't think you are at all, because I'm like so anxious around your son. I'm a helicopter aunt, and I feel like you're so chill.
Yeah.
I feel like I love seeing him navigate life and learn new things, that my want to see him work it out for himself and see the achievement in him outweighs my anxieties.
Yeah.
They're there. I'm scared all the time, but that's something that surprised me as a new parent, that I kind of am able to settle that in the overall grand scheme of being able to see him excel and or fail, honestly.
And it's for the best. Like, kids need to learn how to problem solve and figure out things on their own. Like, that's how they're going to build confidence and capabilities, but it's just hard.
And
But you
don't
do a
get me
great
wrong,
job.
there's certain things still, like, I don't know about sleepovers, at least not now. I have, yeah, of course, like, certain things that I'm still nervous about, but overall, I think I'm way less overbearing than I saw for myself before becoming a mom.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to mention is something that I've been trying to navigate with being a new mom is finding my mom voice.
Oh, yeah.
Because he just makes me laugh all the time. And
Absolutely, yeah.
I have to remind myself, though, that it is my job to provide stability, to, create discipline. Can't just always be his way. And I try to be stern, but then I just want to laugh at myself.
It definitely doesn't
Yeah.
help that whenever you try to use your mom voice around me, I laugh.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
For sure. Like,
It
I
sounds
just
so
can't.
And now he's started mimicking my mom voice, which is just a whole mirror to my experience that is humbling, to say the least. Like, I try to go, lay down now. And now, anytime he wants me to sit down, he's like, sit down now. Just like, Like
a Disney villain is
what you guys sound like.
How dare you call me out like that?
Yeah.
But anyways, okay, so enough about me and my journey with parenting. I know that we've talked briefly about your fears surrounding parenting, and I would love to hear more about that.
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, ultimately, I feel like I know I want kids in the future, but I definitely have a lot of fears going into it. I'm generally just an anxious person in general, so I tend to worry about like everything. But if I were to say like my biggest fear about becoming a parent is just like the energy levels that I feel like you need for it. I feel like I am constantly tired all of the time right now. Like I can't even imagine coming home and having to take care of a child. Like right now I'm working 12-hour shifts. It's really nice because you ultimately get more days off during the week. But when I come home from a 12-hour shift, most of the time I'm just so absolutely drained that I don't even sometimes want to talk to my boyfriend or you live with us, and like to you. Like I'm just like, I need to be alone and like not interact with people. But I just don't see how that's even possible with having a child. Like you can't be like, you can't come home and be like, child, don't talk to me, don't interact with me. Like you definitely can't do that. So I just like really fear about like the energy. I mean, I take naps on every single off day that I have. Like I'm a tired person and I just like cannot imagine trying to be a mom as well.
I'm not going to lie to you. You reach a whole new depth of tired.
That's what everyone says. So like it doesn't sound very appealing to me.
However, you also unleash this newly accessed source of energy.
Yeah,
There's this
because
new
you're living for
motivator.
something else besides yourself at
Yeah.
that point. And that's what mom told me as well. But apparently you have to experience
It's
it.
unfortunate
to
because
believe
that's terrifying. That's
And
a
then,
lot to
like-
go through to have to be like, oh, okay, now I see what you mean.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think I also view parenting from the lens of, like, what a lot of our childhood looked like with mom being a single mom.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know how she did it, how she would go to work, come home, cook us dinner, get us all, make sure we got our schoolwork done, make us lunches, because we never had school lunches. She made all of our lunches, made sure we were clean, went to sleep.
Basically, Superwoman.
Yeah.
Took us to practices. We were all in theater, in sports. Like she did everything. And I think one of my things is I do view parenting as like, even though I'm in a really solid relationship where I know my boyfriend is going to be, he's a great partner. He's going to be a great partner through parenting. He's going to be a fantastic father. And I need to remember that. But for some reason, I think I view parenting as like, I'm going to be in the same position that mom was in. Mm-hmm. And that sounds exhausting to me.
Even
But
just the potential that you could end up in that same position is scary.
potentially. Yeah. But even like,
But even if you were to split, he would still be there for you.
yeah, absolutely. And I just think like, I don't know, I need to like reframe the way that I'm thinking about it, because I think it's so easy just to like compare your current or your future experience based on your past experiences. And that's just, we saw mom be a single mom for most of our lives.
what we know.
Yeah, it's the only thing we ever saw.
So I think I definitely go into it with that lens, which also brings a lot of fear, but I need to go into it like knowing that I'm in a completely different situation with a super solid
100%.
partner.
And I will say that having a partner that I can count on,
Yeah, we never really saw that growing up.
it's
No.
night and day. And it's also healing. Mm-hmm. It is healing for me to get to see that.
And it's awesome for me because I also get to like see my boyfriend with your son and how great he is with him and stuff like that. So I know it'll be great, but yeah, it's just all of the anxiety going into it. And then like what you talked about, the postpartum depression, the postpartum anxiety, like I already struggle with that so much that I have a lot of fear about what that will look like throughout pregnancy or postpartum. Like even me and my boyfriend, we just had this conversation yesterday because I recently started Lexapro. Life-changing. But I'm not kidding. Like, I feel like Lexapro should be in the water. I've been on other antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications in the past, and, you know, everyone responds differently, and I feel like just Lexapro has been really good for me. And so we were, like, talking last night, and I'm just, like, thinking, I'm like, one day when we have kids, like, I just wonder, like, will I want to still take the antidepressant during pregnancy? Because, you know, I used to work in psychiatry, and plenty of people stay on antidepressants throughout their pregnancy, and I'd have to do a lot of education to patients to weigh the pros versus the cons of staying on that medication, because one, you know, a lot of harm can be done to a fetus if you're in a state of anxiety and depression throughout your whole pregnancy. So you have to take that into consideration. But you are also exposing your child to a drug. And the most common, you know, issue that occurs if you take an antidepressant or anti-anxiety medication during pregnancy is something called neonatal adaptation syndrome. Basically, once they're born, they can be a little bit more fussy than maybe a normal baby would be, a little bit harder time with latching and things like that, because they're a little cranky and fussy because they're basically going through a little bit of a serotonin withdrawal.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you have to take that into consideration. And so I was talking about all of this last night, and even my boyfriend was just like, we don't have to worry about that right now, but that's just my brain
You're already
constantly
thinking
thinking
so
about the future scenarios and what I will have to do or what I will want to do, because instinctively, like in myself, I don't want to expose my child to any unnecessary things. So I feel like I'd want to come off of it, but then I also worry about postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety. There's even something called postpartum psychosis.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if that's what I experienced or if it was just extreme exhaustion, but like, I would be scared to even tell you guys some of my thought processes.
People will hear and see things that aren't there. Yeah, maybe it's just complete sleep deprivation.
I had murals painted in my son's room, and I'd be up in the middle of the night feeding him, exhausted for days on end. And I started freaking out. I couldn't look into the eyes of any of the animals on the walls because I was like convinced that they were haunted. It reminded me of the yellow wallpaper. Read that if y'all haven't read that. It's about postpartum depression.
Okay.
It's really good.
I also fear I'm going to hate my child.
That's like a lot of people's fear,
Yeah.
and it does
It
happen.
happens.
But
It
it's usually
happens.
temporary.
I know.
It does happen. And
Yeah.
I just don't think that's...
It's like a combination of like the exhaustion, your hormone changing, like it's
Your whole life changing. It's just the newness. And I think it's interesting because I hear a lot with people say their first child always seems easier. The second child's always harder. And we've talked about this before. I think it's because you go into having your first child with really no idea, so no expectations. So you have no expectations to be let down from.
Right.
Whereas you go into your second child and you're like, okay, this is going to be the same as the first time. I'm prepared for this. And then it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
And then it's so overwhelming. So then also like having the best nephew ever and seeing that, I think I have an expectation now.
Oh, I don't want him to...
But it's just, I think it's the nature of like,
Yeah,
there's
it's
all
just
of like
humans.
the oldest, middle, youngest child, like you have different characteristics based on that. I think that even then bleeds into the next generation.
100%.
oh for sure, because I was there when Gloria gave birth, and I saw it happen.
Yeah.
And Mom was there, and she looked at me and she was like, "Girl, you're never gonna have kids."
Yeah, and let's talk about that. So you have a child. I know I want one in the future. You absolutely don't want children. So tell us about that.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for as long as I can remember, and a lot of people have told me like when you get older that will change, and like I'm still young, so I'm still open to like that changing, but
Okay, that's the first time I've heard you say that.
I've never heard you say that
Like,
before.
as of right now I'm like no,
Yeah.
but I can't see myself having it, but like
Yeah.
if it were to change I would be like, okay, that makes sense,
Okay.
you know, but for me right now it's a hard no.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
That's totally valid.
I adore my nephew, and I love spending time with him. And
And you're a teacher. You're around kids all the time.
All
So that's why it's so shocking.
the time, yes, I teach. When I'm not teaching, I volunteer and I work with children. So when I tell people that I don't want to have kids, they're always surprised. You know, they're like, their reaction is like, "But you work so well with them. Like you have so much experience with them. Your career and your passions, like they're often intertwined." So it throws people off when I say that. I often reply with, "Oh yeah, but I have like 40 kids, you know, like my students, those are my kids." And I praise teachers who teach and then go home and raise humans as well. I think that's crazy. Like, I just don't think I would ever have time to decompress and just like have me time.
Well, and I think there's also teachers that go to school, teach their kids, go home, and then they're able to turn it off. I don't think that's you either. So those teachers that can go be a teacher, go home, turn it off, be a parent. But if you're already a teacher at school and you're still a teacher at home, and you're not,
I see you come home, you don't turn it off.
You don't turn it off. So how would you have the capacity
Yeah.
to shift into another role?
Yeah, and I just, even before I started teaching, it was not something that I wanted, you know? I have heard that, like, after a couple of years of teaching, some people are like, I don't want to have kids, you know, after teaching, because teaching is hard. Raising humans is hard.
And you're exposed to a lot of different types of kids and kind of to the reality that, like, you could have any version of child.
Yes, that's another thing. My when I was student teaching, there was a kid who was having trouble at home, and custody was up in the air, and like I could see myself one day like adopting a student of mine. That would be, I think, the only way I would have children.
Was there ever any point in your life where you felt like you wanted kids? Like, have you ever had that thought?
No. I think the closest was me like, oh, I could see myself adopting this student. But I was 20 and living with mom.
Yeah.
I wonder too, and totally, like, if you don't want to have kids, there's a very good chance you won't change your mind. It's a totally valid choice. But I wonder, you also haven't ever been in like a long-term relationship or partnership.
That could be part of it.
Like almost, you know, how my fear there about seeing myself having to do it on my own. I wonder if once you were in a solid relationship where you really felt supported and safe and all of that, if your mind would change at all. Because right now you're viewing it from a lens of probably doing it by yourself because that's the only lens you have right now. I wonder if that would change at all.
100%.
Yeah. I do think another fear of mine would be projecting my own insecurities and like my own like mental health struggles onto another human.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the most terrifying. Someone who hasn't had a kid is probably one of the most terrifying things of parenting in my perspective. Obviously, just keeping your child alive is also, and keeping them safe from strangers.
Keeping them alive, keeping them safe, and then at the end of the day, they end up with your baggage and damage. It's like, dang.
Yeah, like that would be so hard, and like seeing them struggle with the same things I struggled with would be so challenging because you know how deeply that hurts.
I also wonder, and I'm literally not trying to like change your mind, but I also wonder if that will change with time once maybe as you get a little bit older and like feel like you have figured out some of those things that you've struggled with and feel like you've learned.
Just accept them.
And how you've learned how to work through them and deal with them. If those things, if it would change your mind in terms of feeling like you could help someone else through that if you had a kid. But I don't know. I do like helping my students with their social emotional learning. You know, I'm going back to school for social work and special education, and I do have a lot of joy when I do that and when I see I can help a student. There was recently a student who we were ziplining on a field trip, and they did not want to go up. I didn't want to go up either, but I did not tell them that. I said, oh, you know what? I was once told that feeling in your stomach, you know, could be nervousness, but it also is that same feeling you get when you're excited. So all you have to do is choose. Are you nervous or are you excited? And they went, I'm excited. And then ziplined. And that was so cool to see. But having to do that all the time sounds exhausting.
But just like I said, you find a new depth of tired, but you also find a new source of energy. Kind of like what you were saying, where you now get to you're almost forced to accept or move on or face whatever your own issues are, because you're like, you know what? I don't want my child to have the same insecurity as me. So I'm going to put my big girl pants on and face it, which you did by climbing up there and not showing you were nervous.
Oh, no, we did that on the ground.
Oh.
Did you not climb up? Did you not go up?
No, we were walking towards the zip line, and they were like, I don't think I'm going up there.
That's hilarious.
And I had that conversation with them, and then they went up there.
As a parent, though, you might have climbed up.
Yeah, I mean, if it was my nephew,
Yeah,
I almost
think
for
you
sure.
would have.
Yeah, yeah. But it wasn't. And
But that's what I
have
mean.
to.
Sometimes it forces you to kind of have to.
Do you have that fear at all with your son? Or are there any things that you've seen that are like you or your husband where you're like, oh, whoa, genetics are strong and we're going to definitely be dealing with that in the future?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got the sass. He's so clever. You know, he's smart, but he's also clever. I've already seen him start to work us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very me. That's very me. But I don't know. I definitely, it's hard for me to see anything as like a negative in him.
Absolutely, yeah.
But definitely we are quickly looking down the barrel of losing a bit of control with him. And there are some tough decisions to be made to make sure that he stays the sweet, centered, good-natured boy that he is right now and doesn't go off into a more, like, I literally don't want to put any negative words to him.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Because he's perfect
Say
in
something
every
bad
way.
about your son.
But yeah, I think just providing that structure, because sometimes I'll see how he behaves at home and I'm like, you're pushing it. But then we go hang out with groups in group settings and I see how polite he is, how considerate he is.
He's so sweet.
He is so sweet. And I'm like, okay, well, we're doing something right. He might be able to push our buttons and get us to do whatever he wants us to do.
Yeah, as the right of any child. You know?
Their parent, I feel
Yeah,
like.
but he is absolutely mindful of others when we're out and about. So it's really just a balance, and I think I'll see more and more of it as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, the qualities that I see in him that remind me of my husband, I see as like the best of him.
Oh, that's sweet.
And the qualities I see of him and myself, or the qualities I see that remind me of myself, are the only ones that I see as potential problematic qualities.
I feel like that's probably the case with most people. You're always going to have a harsher mirror towards yourself.
Definitely. But speaking of fears,
Yes.
we talked about your fear of having kids, but we also were wanting to hear from you about your fear of waiting.
Oh,
kids.
yes. Yeah. I definitely don't feel ready to have kids right now. I imagine waiting a little bit more time, even though I want my kids to be close in age. It's such a dilemma because I want my kids to be close in age with their cousins, but I also just don't feel ready yet. I've always imagined like early 30s is when, I'd want to start trying. But it's scary. As a female, we have that biological clock. Once you hit 30, your number and quality of eggs decline drastically. And then 35, it's even more. They literally call it a geriatric pregnancy.
Well, and I feel like even in media and in television, it's like once you're 30, it gets exponentially harder. It's like every plot to every drama is like, I'm struggling to have kids. Like every time.
It's also just like technically true.
Yeah.
Mostly after 35. I also have just said this thing my whole life, which is weird. Not my whole life, but since I was a teenager, I've always just said I feel like I'm not going to be able to have kids.
I know.
I don't know why.
Okay,
well,
that's
I do know
the
why,
part that
kind
I
of.
think too also is influenced by television and media though, because I think I also felt that most women I talk to feel that because that is the plot line to like every one of our favorite shows. It's like they can't, and then they finally do.
Yeah.
But
I feel like
not just that. I'm not
I
trying
feel
to
like
write
the fear started for me in high school. I randomly got an ovarian cyst. The most painful thing ever. I think mom thought I was having, like, I had appendicitis, so we went to the hospital, and then I had an ovarian cyst, which is honestly quite common in females and really doesn't affect your fertility, but obviously I didn't know that as a teenager. So I think I created this narrative of it's going to be hard for me to have kids. I also haven't been, like, the smartest in long-term relationships in terms of like being smart and proactive to prevent pregnancy. And it's never happened. So that's also in the back of my brain. Like, how have I never gotten
It's actually hard. This is the misconception. It's like actually hard to get pregnant. There's a very small window. It's kind of crazy. That's the other thing that I feel like is promoted in media and television and everything. It's like, as a woman, it's so easy to get pregnant if you're not safe. Your purpose is to get pregnant. You better do it. And it's also going to be hard for you to get pregnant when you want to get pregnant. It's like those are the three narratives we hear about all the time. And it's actually hard. You have like maybe a 5-day window every month.
Yeah. That's why accidental pregnancy is kind of...
It's shocking
me, but we were all accidents. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of intentional.
But yeah, so you think, if any of us were intentional, it was you. Yeah, definitely. We were accidents for sure.
Yeah.
But...
happy accidents.
Yeah.
My favorite accidents. I love
but yes, I feel like another part of me is I've been in school almost my whole life up until now 2-3 years ago. So I also want to feel settled in my career before having kids. I have so much fear going back to being tired all the time. I have so much fear about a lot of my identity is in my career right now. And I also don't see myself being able to work and be a mom. I mean, at least work to the extent that I am now or my current job. So part of me feels like when having a kid, it's also a moment of, okay, it's time to give up this other part of you to some extent. Because I don't see, like I said, I don't see how I could come home from a 12-hour shift and be a good parent and be like emotionally available and have the patience and all of those things. So I also feel like that's part of me wanting to wait a little bit to be able to really like solidify where I'm at in my career. But then there's just the fear of waiting and it being too difficult late. Or you got pregnant really quickly and
it didn't feel quick. That's what's so crazy is you say that, but it felt like.
But some people will try for years. So say we start trying at 32, 33. Then I'm 35 after we've tried for 2 or 3 years, and I'm a geriatric female trying to get pregnant.
It's important to note that we did, and I don't think you actually knew it until I told you the other day, but we did try a few years ago for a year and didn't get pregnant. So that clocked time was already logged. Mm-hmm. So by the time we were starting this time around, it was already, we tried for a year and it didn't work.
Yeah. So it felt like much longer for you on the outside compared to what we were saying, but
and there was something else I wanted to note that you were talking about.
Career-wise.
Oh, yes. I think my experience was different because my career was sort of in a murky place, and I was in a transitionary place that it felt a little bit less disruptive to my career because now I'm able to focus on building my career after having my
and
child.
definitely.
Whereas you're like at the pinnacle of yours, and that would be hard.
Yeah, that's what's scary to me, but yeah, that's ultimately like why I want to wait. But I will say, seeing you and everything that you do, going to school, being a kick-ass mom, you
can do more than you think you can do, and also I think you're underestimating how fulfilling and like work but with love it is to have a child. It's different, but at least the way I did it, I treated it like a career. Yeah. Like not everybody does.
It is though, for the most part. But I think another fear is just how relationships will change and things like that. And so since you're in that position, how do you feel like friendships and relationships have changed since becoming a mom?
Well, okay. Yeah. So the main ones, my husband and I's relationship. I think a lot of times I feel like children sometimes can make things harder on a romantic relationship.
That's always what I've heard, yeah.
And I think that in some ways it's been hard, but I feel like overall my husband and I have been stronger than ever since having our child.
I feel like
I can see that too.
Yeah.
It's like any time that we start to revert to old patterns or start to argue or get into a bad place, it's like we're both just kind of like, but like, we're both here. We both love our son. What is this even? What are we doing?
Yeah.
We have like this common place to just come back to and just be like, yeah, no, this fight doesn't really mean as much to me anymore. I don't know. It's wild.
Your priorities shift when you have a kid.
Yeah.
You know?
And in a large way, I feel like my son just kind of fit and finished the pieces of our family unit. It just really...
I see it. I see it so much.
I wasn't anticipating it. I was so ready for like it to get so much harder. And not to say that there weren't hard times. There was growing pains. You know, I think being a mom came quite naturally to me. I think for men it's harder. They don't have a fetus inside of them for 9 months, learning their timing, when they're sleeping, when they're awake, what
they're not breastfeeding.
Yeah, there's none of that. And so they feel kind of a disconnect. But as soon as he found his way, oh, it's been amazing to watch.
It's been really cool to watch.
It's been so healing for me to know that when my husband comes home from work, my son is so excited. I never got to be excited when my dad came home from work.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
And my son runs to the door.
Yeah.
And it is seriously the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And beyond that, I have the greatest support system. And that's something I want you to know, too. Your fears, I know they're there. They're valid. But the support system makes a whole lot of difference.
Yeah,
and I have been through it. So there is somebody there to help you navigate those murky waters. But having you guys, having my mom, what a blessing. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's so much so that I can't even really talk about it to my mom friends. Because I'm just like, who cannot relate?
Yeah. I think it's very rare what we have in our mom.
Yeah. She's a superhero. I'm able to go to school because of her. My son gets such an incredible experience. My mom gets to relive having me, and my son gets to experience my mom, the greatest mom in the whole world, as a grandma. Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's really cool.
He gets so excited to see her too,
What
and it's
a dream.
the cutest thing.
And my relationships with my friends, my non-kid having friends, some of them have stepped up in ways I never expected. I've become closer with people after having a son, even though that they don't have kids. And some of them, it's harder. We're navigating the waters, trying to figure out priorities, and just they want me to show up exactly the same. And I don't think that's exactly fair, but I try to the best of my ability. Mm-hmm. I think the big one is my relationship with my mother-in-law. And I think that in any sort of situation where your son, and I know I'm going to experience it one day.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that'd be so funny.
I'm going to eat my words one day too. I think that it's hard to navigate because you have the son, you're so proud of them. They find a partner. And I think as the mother-in-law, you get to kind of be a bit in control of the situation, because at least for me, as the daughter-in-law, I wanted her approval. I wanted to be accepted. I think having a child of my own shifts that dynamic pretty drastically. And I think it can be scary on the receiving end. I can only imagine it at this stage, but I'd imagine that now all of a sudden, okay, well, that person, I was in control before, but now this person that maybe I could have been a little more accepting of in the beginning now has my grandson or my grandchild, and is the
power roles have
shifted.
Switched a little bit.
Yeah. And I think that's where we see a lot of those tropes of like the mother-in-law, daughter-in-law dynamics. You know, you hear a lot about those not working out very well. And
I feel like a big one with that is a lot of times mother-in-laws either critiquing the way you parent or putting in their 2 cents where it's like, oh, that wasn't really asked. Has that happened at all?
Yeah, I think it's coming. I think mostly it's a fear of missing out. I think, as I said, I think I'm going to experience that myself, because being the mother of the boy, I think when the child has children later on, it tends to be the mother's family that gets to be more involved.
Yeah, it's just
And it's just kind of the default. I know I gravitate towards you guys. I gravitate towards my mom. And so I think it's coming from a place of fear. So those overreaches, those oversteps are likely due to I just want to be a part of the conversation. I just want to be involved in this. And I think the struggle to build the foundation makes it hard for me to accept those inputs. So I'm sure I can improve on that note. But yeah, it does. It creates conflict and it makes it hard and it puts my husband in a weird position. And it's just trying to navigate those things, trying to make sure that she's included while also respecting my boundaries and not feeling like I'm a less than mother or person because I do things the way that I do them.
Yeah.
And
if you were already in a position of feeling
defensive because of having to always prove myself,
judged before even having your son, then you have that perspective.
Exactly. But
okay, but earlier, actually, I wanted to come back to this. I kind of mentioned how the whole oldest, middle, youngest child dynamic bleeds into the next generation. I wonder, I keep sounding like I'm trying to convince you to have kids. I'm not. I'm just curious about how you came about not wanting to have kids. It's just, I think that it's more common now than it ever has been to not want to have kids. So I totally get that. But I wonder do you feel like you being the youngest child has anything to do with not wanting to have kids and not wanting to have that responsibility of
someone else?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never had to take care of a younger sibling. And I think there was a short period of time where our younger cousin did stay with us, and I hated it. I hated it so much. I didn't have to take care of him. I just did not like him there.
But you were also a teenager at that time.
That's true.
I feel like as a oldest daughter and then middle, you get that younger sibling at such a young age. And at a younger age, you're so much more adaptable. So as a teenager, then all of a sudden having like a younger sibling
you've already decided.
Yeah,
like, I did
my
no. But yeah, I feel like Gloria's always naturally taking care of us.
Oh yeah,
and then me as well with you,
because we're so close in age too. It was pretty back to back. So
so we've grown up doing that, and I just wonder, since like you maybe didn't have to do that as much, if that's like I don't want to do that because I've never had to.
It could be. I never had that responsibility before. I remember G would always walk me home from school. And there was this one time, hope you don't mind me telling the story. There was this one time she was walking me home from school, and I pulled down her shirt in front of a boy, and
boobs out or bra out?
Boobs out. And it wasn't one time. It was a phase of time. It was multiple times. One time in front of our pastor and my then not quite yet boyfriend, but we were on our way.
I probably helped. That probably
honestly, yeah. But that story would make me think that would make you not want to have kids. All of the freaking
the patience that I built as a result of occurrences like that. Trust me, you brought your own. Is what made me willing to be a child.
Yeah.
Be a child.
Be a mother.
Be a mother. Yeah. Because I have infinite patience.
You probably have the highest patience, but you definitely have more patience than me.
I was about to say, I feel like patience. 1, 2, 3. But like, I know my limits of patience.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. You think she has more patience than me?
No, I said 1.
I said
2.
1, 2.
I disagree with you. Anyways, it's fine.
I spend you spend your days with children too, but like a child, but like
you have patience for strangers' behavior, but less patience with people you know and familial behavior. Like if someone's doing something to you that like knows better, you're like, enough already. Like, my limits already, my boundaries already, don't mess with me. I feel like the other way around. A stranger who pisses me off, I'll get in their face and be like, how dare you? How dare you? Like, they don't know me. How would they know? But I have no patience there for them. I have more patience for, like, family.
I think it's because I fear confrontation.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a lack of patience It's just a fear of confrontation.
Yeah, you're not necessarily more patient. You're just more afraid of confronting somebody.
Well, I'm thinking specifically in that scenario that you gave, because like when I work with kids, like I don't fear confrontation with them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but
I have zero patience.
Yeah, just in all aspects.
Another fear that I have going into parenting. I don't have very good patience, and I don't want to be the type of parent that also like flips out on their kid. I mean, we had that growing up.
Yeah.
Just another fear to add to the list.
Yeah. Parenting is scary.
Yeah.
Because there's so much that you could do wrong so easily.
And the consequences are huge.
Yeah. It's a whole
Stakes are
person
high.
and their mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think
That's all we wanted to talk about. But at the beginning, we were supposed to do a question from you.
A little cutesy question.
oh my gosh, I didn't ask my question.
You didn't ask your question.
got right into it. Okay.
We did. We got super into
This is going to seem off the wall. Okay, first, I want to say something that happened this morning between me and Kay. I was in my bathroom getting ready, and Kay comes in.
It's just embarrassing.
She had her eyeliner in her hand, and she said, so I saw this video, and Billie Eilish, like, talked about it, and you put the eyeliner in your tear duct, and can you see it?
Look at your face.
Can you tell the difference? How does it look? And I said, Kay, that was the thing of the early 2000s, eyeliner on the bottom. She thought that this was
I didn't think it was new. It was new to me. Okay, I'm getting defensive.
the revelation of a lifetime.
All right, I have never felt so much like of a Gen Zer in my life. In that moment.
Just put eyeliner on like a normal human being did in 2005.
I was 4.
Next, she's gonna be like, "What if we do blue eyeliner?"
But I agree with you. That's the most I've ever been like, oh, there's an age gap here. I thought it was so funny.
It's not even that big of an age gap, which is wild.
4 years
amazing.
It's
Well,
pretty
if
big.
you're thinking, you said 2005 was when you were doing you were 9 years
I was
old.
not doing it. Oh, I might have been.
She was definitely doing it, but because of me though. That's the thing is,
Yeah.
she got dragged up with me.
Yeah.
I will say,
to age up higher.
being the youngest, I have been exposed to some really great culture, like Cheetah Girls. A lot of people my age.
Jeez, ugh, vintage.
No, I am grateful because the song Cinderella by the Cheetah Girls is a smash, and a lot of people my age don't know it. And
that's
people who do know it have older siblings. So thank you.
Yeah.
You're
and
welcome.
Your eyeliner looks great today, so.
Yeah,
I just had to share that.
Embarrassed.
it's amazing.
But,
That's amazing.
okay, my question is now going to seem so off the wall, but this is a discussion that we actually had at work based on the patient population I work with. I work in a jail. We see a lot of HIV patients due to needle sharing and all of that stuff. So someone posed this question at work, so I stole this question. But you also kind of need a little bit of a background. So now, this day and age, there are antiviral therapies out there for people with HIV that basically can bring their viral load down to something called undetectable. So your risk of transmitting HIV to someone else is basically zero. Like tons of studies there's been studies, I forgot the name of the study, but studied partners with HIV on antiviral therapy with undetectable viral loads who have a partner without HIV, and there was zero transmission of HIV to the partner without HIV in those studies. So the question was posed at work: if your partner told you randomly that they have HIV, they're on antiviral therapy, and their viral load's undetectable, would you have sex with your partner without a condom?
Oh my gosh, off the wall.
At
I
work.
told you it was off the wall.
At work.
And then it all got kind of murky because people were like, well, how did this person get HIV if they've been with me? All of this stuff.
Yeah,
But
what's the partner? Is this a
very-
long-term partner, a short-term partner?
Think of who you're with right now. So say
Okay.
Sean. And because this is actually a possible scenario for me. I'm dealing with patients with HIV, needles and things like that, accidental pokes. say I got it from that. Like, would my boyfriend, if I was on antiviral therapy, have sex with me without a condom if my viral loads were undetectable? So, would you guys?
I think it would take some time. I think it would take some education. I would definitely need to know the backstory or potential backstory. I'd have to talk to my partner. I'd have to see how I feel about their response.
Definitely depends.
Yeah, if this is coming from like a scary, untrustworthy thing, then there's other factors to why I don't want to have sex with my partner.
Yes, not because of that.
Yeah,
that's fair.
but it's not necessarily because of the HIV diagnosis. I think, if there's studies that show that it's non-transferable, I think eventually we could.
Not 100% ever, but
Okay, well then that's different, I guess. I think it would just take time to get there. As the studies come out, we would just stay communicative about that matter. But I also know my partner, and I don't think that he would want to have unprotected sex with me.
That's fair.
If that were the case.
That's a good point.
See, for me, it's different because I don't have a long-term partner to place in there.
Yeah.
And, okay, we're going to talk about it anyways on one of our series.
Just let it rip.
Yeah, I'm going to let it rip. I've never had a long-term relationships. I've never had sex. So, like, thank you. It's one of my greatest achievements.
I'm proud of you.
Literally the only time someone's going to clap for that. Okay. So,
I don't know. If you go to a church, probably.
Probably. Honestly, I'd probably be like the pastor's favorite person.
Yeah. For real.
But no, I have more comments that we'll get on Unhinged. Okay, anyways. I feel like we have condoms.
Like, why not use
Just
them?
use them.
Yeah.
Like,
why not?
We can.
Why the heck not?
Do you feel like, as a female, having sex with a condom is different for you?
Yes, I do. It's a point of situation in my relationship because it's also about, it takes you out of the moment. You gotta pause, you gotta stop, you gotta kind of but it's an inconvenience. It's not a deal breaker.
Absolutely not a deal breaker.
My partner definitely prefers to use them as a mode of
pregnancy prevention.
And so it's been a thing, but honestly, I'm kind of getting over it. It's fine. Like, it is the best option, to be honest. And I've tried birth control. I'm a nightmare. I've tried that stuff, what's it called?
You put the gel into your vagina. It like desensitizes the sperm. I forgot what it's called.
It's a spermicide. It's a spermicide.
I've never heard of that a day in my life.
Also, I just feel like that's dangerous.
I don't want to horrible for me. It felt horrible.
I feel like it would feel weird if it's killing off
it's
sperm.
It's like lube.
It's just jelly.
But
you said it's killing off sperm.
Yeah, but you don't feel it. It's not like gonna burn.
But like you're
but it does
chemicals.
It does though.
For some people, I mean,
like
any sort of you can have any
anything
sort of
you put
allergic
in.
reaction to anything.
And it took me forever to realize because I'd be like asleep, trying to sleep, and I'm like, what the heck is happening to me right now? It took me like months of us using it for me to be like, oh my gosh, it's after I use that freaking crap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can't do that anymore. So anyways.
Ultimately, the answer is it would be easier to just
use a condom.
But what if, say, you haven't had kids yet and you want to have kids? But you can also do in vitro fertilization, all of that stuff too.
Some people can. It's not accessible for everyone. Yeah.
But
yes, I think that it would just be a constant conversation. If it's going to, like, it's like this weird, there's so much stigma around sexually transmitted anything that, like, if it's going to destroy my partner's self-esteem because they think that I think that they're filth or something, there just needs to be therapy. There needs to be probably condoms used. If we're trying to have a child, there needs to be conversation. Do we want to try it naturally? Then I need to be regularly checked then. There needs to be...
There's so many things that would have to be
logistics-wise. But, yeah, I think, honestly, as most things in relationships, communication.
It always goes back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a funny conversation, especially with a bunch of healthcare providers who have a little bit more knowledge on.
Can I ask, like, what was the majority? What were people saying?
It was pretty
split.
No, I think most people said they would have sex without a condom with their partner, and I probably would too.
Well, and I think too, as medical providers, there's a trust in science, and that I think a lot of other people who are not medical providers don't have as much of.
Yeah, just because they don't understand it.
Yeah.
And obviously, HIV just has a huge stigma.
Yeah.
Stigma.
As well.
Huge stigma.
For so long, it was a death sentence, and it's just
not anymore. Yeah. So, I think that's a big factor. Well, I'm glad that I remembered to ask about what your question was.
We didn't do that.
You talk about that in a workplace. That's wild.
We have lots of fun conversations where I work. It's crazy. Yeah. Okay, well, I think it's time for our favorite part.
Yes, it is time for our favorite segment, strangers on the internet being messier than we are. Yay. That's right, it's Reddit story time.
All right, so me and G have not heard this Reddit story. Kay is going to read it to us. And
first time ever hearing
We're just going to react, judge, do whatever.
Yes.
Judge other people for once, not just ourselves.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, we need a break from ourselves.
All right. Am I the asshole for knowing that my mom was lying to my dad and never correcting it, even though I knew it was ruining his marriage? My dad cheated on my mom, which made them divorce. My dad married the woman that he cheated on my mom with, and he insisted that for me, 17,
17, okay.
17, yeah, male, and my sister, a 19 female, that they needed to present a united front and become friendly so that we wouldn't be dragged into it. This was 11 years ago. My mom didn't tell me my dad cheated, by the way. My sister was the one that told me after we both heard them fight about my mom, my dad, and the woman he cheated with. And my dad said something weird to us the next day. My dad insisted that the family's parties should be on both sides with everyone uniting us. And he really tried to make my mom feel bad for saying no at first. So she gave in, but she decided, since it was being forced, that she would see him with a woman that he cheated with, that she would bring dates like this to all events. So she didn't bring some random guy. They were all people she knew who posed as her boyfriend for a few of these events. We knew them too, so we were cool with it. We never said anything to my dad. The fact that my mom's boyfriends weren't actually real. It drove my dad crazy, and my mom would lie and say that they were dating and she would bring a partner if she could. My dad would obsess over these men so much. Everyone could see it. It was making his wife mad, but they stayed together for years. And the more my dad saw my mom having fun with these guys, the more crazier he got. It drove him crazy when we all would hang out at these parties or events, and he would get uncomfortable with these guys. And we were never really close with my dad's new wife. It started a few fights a couple years ago, and 5 months ago, my dad and his wife separated and then filed for divorce. Then she postponed it, and now they're in therapy together. My dad ended up realizing what my mom had done. He got mad and asked her what was wrong with her, that he would accuse her of lying just to break him and his wife up. But when he realized that me and my sister both knew and didn't tell, he got mad at us too. My sister does not talk to him, so he can't yell at her much. But I still have to spend some weekends with him at his house, and he is very mad. He told me that it was coming between him and his wife, and that I said nothing. He said that it was wrong and it hurt my family. I told him he didn't hurt my family, or I didn't hurt my family. He broke up our family. And I don't care about his stupid marriage. Then I got a lecture about his marriage and how it wasn't stupid and I shouldn't hold the affair against him because he found happiness. I said if that was really true, then he wouldn't mind mom moving on. He said that it was disgusting that I would help my mom lie. So am I the asshole?
Okay.
No.
Let me get this straight. This man cheated on his wife, married the woman he cheated with.
Which is very similar to
our
life
situation.
story.
But then got mad that his wife was moving on, but not actually moving on, just acting like she was moving on.
Exactly.
Because he got jealous and his wife got mad.
That he was jealous.
But for no reason, because it wasn't real. So he's basically just humiliated that he got jealous for no reason.
Yes.
Yes.
Times two, because first of all, don't get jealous because you did
cheated.
this. And then second of all, yeah,
Yes, and the first thought that came to my head is it always happens. Parents involve their children in
Literally.
the divorce. The child, it has nothing to do with the fact that you and your wife decided to get divorced. So it's not their responsibility to
Make you feel better.
Yeah.
No, it's not their actions. They're not their mom.
Yeah.
They're not making those decisions. It's not a child's responsibility to make their parents feel better, especially in a circumstance like a divorce. Like, that's just happens far too often, and
Yes.
that's so annoying.
And also, I find it hilarious, and crazy that this man cheated on his wife, but then went to his now ex-wife and was like, "We need to be united for the kids." But you broke up the marriage, but she needs to come to all of your events so that you guys are united for the kids. But you didn't think, maybe I shouldn't have sex with this person, or at least talk to my wife and get a proper divorce first.
Not just that, but then it's like, we need to do this for the kids, but then immediately turns on the kids and is like, how dare you lie for your mother?
Yeah. And
How quickly do you abandon for the kids?
it just
When it's not serving you.
absolutely shows the reason behind cheating is insecurity, basically 100% of the time, and needing more validation, so you go out and try to find that from someone else. And he's obviously so insecure because he's still getting jealous of his ex-wife having partners when you're literally remarried.
Yeah.
Make that make any sort of sense. That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
But the thing that makes me the most upset is getting upset at the child when you are the one that literally made the decision to cheat, marry that person. Your child has nothing to do with having to freaking regulate your feelings and emotions. That's so annoying.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's so weird that we put all these pressures on kids to regulate when we literally can't regulate ourselves. It's like this weird, expectation. Oh, you better do things right when I tell you to.
Yeah.
Why? I don't do things right when I want to. I procrastinate like heck.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
But this actually reminds me of somewhat of a situation that you were in.
Yes, that's why I picked it.
Yeah. So 5-second backstory of our life. So our dad cheated on our mom, then ended up marrying that person. They then got divorced. Our mom and dad got back together. Then when they were back together, you came across some text messages on his phone.
I don't condone looking through people's phones. People have the right to their own privacy. I was probably about 15 years old, and I have never done it since. I think that was probably the first time I've ever done it too. But I had this feeling I didn't trust my dad for obvious reasons. And so I looked at his phone, and he was texting his second ex-wife, the person that he cheated on our mom with.
Literally the
Same person. And it was about them trying to meet up and talking trash about our mom as well. And I was like, oh, fuck this dude. We moved from one state to another so that our parents could be together. And I was very upset about that move. So yeah, I picked this story because I was like, oh, I can relate. And then I had to navigate knowing that, and mom didn't.
Did you end up telling mom?
No. Okay. So
Yeah, I didn't think you did.
I should honestly post this on Reddit. So
You should.
Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole? There were so many text messages, guys. I had to take pictures of them on my phone. I took pictures, had my phone, took pictures of dads.
Oh.
And I
see.
didn't know it at the time, but mom's and I's iClouds were linked. So all the photos I saw, our mom saw too. So it was a couple
What a nightmare.
days probably later that mom noticed them, and she read through them all. She picked me up from school, which was very rare, and she took me to Freddy's to get ice cream and fries, and I was like, this is weird.
I love Freddy's.
I know. It's kind of ruined for me now. But I was like, this is really weird. And she told me that she knew, but she wasn't upset at me at all.
Normal response.
Normal,
Yeah.
healthy response. And I was just like, it was such a weird time.
Were you planning on telling her? Were you going
working
back
up the
and
courage or anything
I was
that?
processing it
Yeah.
still.
Yeah,
I was
so much
I probably would have told her eventually because I didn't want to live in that state. And I would have done anything to get out of there.
Yeah.
But
I bet you were conflicted with like, well, am I just doing this because I don't want to be here, or am I doing it because I'm trying to?
I don't know. I was a teenager. I don't
so
think
much for a teenage brain to try to comprehend the process. It's just
was that like self-aware, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
But I just remember being so mad at him.
And you also don't want to hurt mom.
Exactly.
That's
I
what
didn't
mean.
want to tell
Yeah.
her that.
Yeah,
that's
that's
such
what
an
I mean.
uncomfortable
Like
conversation.
selfishly, like I would like to get out of here, but also, am I just gonna break her heart if I just say this?
Yeah. And it was such a strange time because I'm the youngest. I didn't know all of our family lore.
Yeah.
You know? And so because of that, I remember I was FaceTiming S one time and she told me about how mom found out about the affair. And she ended up calling like a number on dad's phone. And it wasn't the person our father was having an affair with.
It was their child.
Her child. Yeah. And so I was like, well, damn. Like he had
When did you find that out?
When you told me when I was in high school on that FaceTime call.
Before or after you saw the screenshots?
After. We were talking about it because of all.
So that's also so different. If me and you were to see those screenshots, we'd be like,
absolutely the fuck not.
But you were probably just so confused.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I knew he cheated. I didn't know how mom found out. I didn't know that he had a relationship with her children.
Yeah.
Like that's
before they got divorced.
Wild.
Yeah. Mom's response was a completely normal response, not putting the responsibility on you, which I mean she did plenty of times throughout our childhood, but
she improved.
She did a good job then.
Growth.
Yeah. But yeah, that dad is definitely the asshole in my opinion.
Yeah, for
ridiculous,
sure. Yeah.
But that was a good one.
That was really good.
Thank you. Thank you. I saw that. I was like, I can relate, man.
Okay. Was there anything else that we had?
I think that's about it.
All right. Well, I think that's the end of this episode, talking about parenting and all of our different perspectives. It was tons of fun. Just a reminder, we are not professionals. We're just three sisters with big feelings, a decent camera, and daddy issues. So just don't take what we say too seriously.
Yes. And if you enjoyed hanging out with us today, please follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Daddy Issues Pod, and on YouTube at the Daddy Issues Podcast. And please share the podcast to all of your emotionally repressed friends or dad.
I'm drunk. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.